we gotta do your 2-month update, bub. You're gonna be 2 months soon, huh? Hey guys, it's Gabby and Silas here to give you guys his 2-month update because baby boy here is gonna be 2 months on the 29th. I was gonna film a 1-month update, but since it's already been way too long and he's already 2 months basically, I just figured I would do both in one video and let you guys know what this little one's been up to. So if you guys don't know already, my name is Gabby and this is my son Silas. He was born on November 29th of 2019 and he was supposed to be born last week. I was due on the 19th and it is now 27th, so I was supposed to be due last Sunday, right? Point is, he came super early, and if you guys want to know about that whole story, I will link my birth video and my birth story video down below so you guys can watch that if you guys want to know the whole crazy story of him coming into the world. But now we're here, we're home, and we've been adjusting to having a newborn, and I want to tell you guys all about it. So if you guys don't know already, as I mentioned before, I kind of had an interesting birth story. We didn't have him home for the first month of his life, so we didn't really become parents until a month after he was born because he was in the NICU for 33 days. So the nurses took care of him pretty much for the whole entire first month of his life. So we didn't really have anything to do. We just visited him every few hours. So we got like a free month trial of being parents basically. And this past month, this whole month of January, we have become like actual parents and had to take care of him. And it was quite an adjustment because we also started school in January. So we started school, I started last week and Holden started 2 weeks ago. Having a newborn and starting school again is a pretty interesting thing. I mean, I had school last semester, but Holden hasn't been in school for 6 years. So this is his first semester back in college in a really long time. So I kind of watched a few of like other people's videos about newborn updates and stuff like that. And I think they pretty much just talk about like weight, how they're eating, how they're sleeping, and all that type of stuff. So I guess I'll just go into his weight. He was born at 4 pounds, 3 ounces, so he was very tiny. And now, at his last pediatrician appointment, he was 7 pounds, and I don't remember how many ounces, but I'm pretty sure by now he's 8 pounds because he feels a lot heavier in our hands now, and he's eating a lot more, so I think he went through a little growth spurt, and so I'm pretty sure he's 8 pounds now. He has an appointment coming up next week for his 2-month checkup, but, oh, what's up, bud? As far as how he's eating, like I'm giving him breast milk and I pump every 3 hours, every 3 to 4 hours. And so he is being fed breast milk, and then we feed him formula at nighttime just so that he will sleep a little bit longer and be more full. So we feed him Enfamil at night, and then during the daytime I pump, and then we give him bottles because, like I mentioned before, he was in the hospital for the first month and they only gave him a feeding tube, and then when he transitioned out of that, he got a bottle. So I never got to breastfeed him and practice doing that. So unfortunately, I kind of missed that key window of having him learn to breastfeed and do it effectively. So now, whenever I try to breastfeed him, I've tried numerous times. Trust me, I've tried so many different times to try and breastfeed him, and he just refuses to breastfeed. He just gets frustrated. He'll latch on and everything, and he'll suck for like 10 seconds, and then he'll just get frustrated and stop and start looking for a bottle. So I've tried numerous times, but apparently my boobs just don't release milk fast enough, and he gets really mad at me, so he just doesn't want to breastfeed. So I guess I'll have to wait till the next one to do that, but it's okay. I'm just happy I can still feed him breast milk because I really didn't want to formula feed him because 1, that's expensive, and 2, why formula feed when I have perfectly good free breast milk coming out. So I'm going to try and breastfeed. My goal is for a year, but pumping is kind of difficult to do for a year and actually have that same milk supply like be steady throughout that year. So I'm going to try my best to give him breast milk for a year, but with pumping, like I said before, it's just kind of hit or miss. And I'm also on birth control again now, so that kind of can affect your milk supply as well. I only started birth control like 2 weeks ago, and so far I haven't seen a huge difference in my milk supply, but we'll see what happens. He's eating very well. He takes about 100 milliliters each feeding, and at nighttime we do like 1/3 formula and then 2/3 breast milk. So he always gets 100 milliliters, and that pretty much seems to satisfy him, at least we think so. He gets full after that and sleeps for like 2 to 3 hours after. So he feeds about every 2.5, 3 hours, which is Nice for us, because we get little breaks, huh? He just recently started liking his crib. He refused to sleep in a crib before. I think it was just like the wide open space of a crib that freaked him out or something, because he would always just get, like, he would just flail his arms around, and he would just, even when he was swaddled, he hated being in a crib in like an open space. So we got him, but we didn't get him. He had a bassinet that was a little bit more closed and just a tighter fit, and he liked that a lot more. I think he likes the feeling of just like the comfort of having something around him. So he did not like a wide open crib. But recently, like last week or so, we started, every time he fell asleep or started falling asleep, we moved him into the crib, which is in our room, so that he could get used to associating crib with sleep, and that he would start liking the crib. And now he's perfectly fine. He pretty much always sleeps in the crib, and he is a stomach sleeper and a side sleeper. He does not like sleeping on his back very much. I know I'm gonna get comments saying that's not safe and all that stuff, but we watch him constantly, and we always have a little monitor on him. So if that's how he can sleep, that's how he can sleep. He also slept on his stomach in the hospital, so that's why we figured it would be okay, because the nurses did it for him for those 5 weeks he was there, and he slept like a baby. So we figured it'd be fine at home. We watch him. He does pretty well. At nighttime, we notice that he does get really like phlegmy, and so we have like this little like nose sucker thing, which is so gross, but it's the only way to get the boogers out of his nose. So we do that pretty much every night, because for some reason once it hits 9 p.m. he gets super like congested and phlegmy and stuff, and I'm not sure if that's because when we start feeding him formula, or if it's just because of the temperature change at night or something. I don't know, but it seems like clockwork. Every night at 9 p.m. he just gets like just really fussy and congested, and like just has a little cold for those like 8 hours at nighttime for some reason. So we are going to do a little experiment and see if we stop feeding him formula at nighttime, if that helps with the phlegm production and all that stuff, because we tried switching formulas. He did have Similac at first, and then we didn't like Similac. He didn't like it at all. He would always spit it up or just not have a full feeding. So we switched from Similac to Enfamil, and he seems to be taking Enfamil a bit better, a lot more actually. He likes it a lot more, but he still has that phlegminess at night. So I'm gonna see if maybe we should just not feed him formula at all, unless we absolutely have to, because I'm not producing enough or something, because I am slowly running out of breast milk from like what I pumped while he was in the hospital and stuff, and now we're starting to move towards just what I have day to day, because we still have a few bags left of what I pumped while I was in the hospital and when I flew back home and stuff to take my finals. I pumped a lot so that when we got back home he would have a lot just stocked up, but it's running out and I'm getting scared because I'm not producing enough milk to keep up with his feedings. So that's why we use formula at nighttime, to kind of help supplement and keep my breast milk stash going. So I think that's all I really can update you guys on as far as how he's progressing and everything. I mean, he's out of his preemie clothes. He's now wearing a size newborn onesie, so that's nice. We can put away all his preemie onesies and stuff and just save those for the next baby. As far as postpartum goes on my side, I am doing well. I think I'm pretty much back to normal. I think my body is still regulating the whole menstrual cycle thing, because for some reason I'm pretty sure I got my period already again, which is crazy because I feel like I got it super fast. I feel like most women get it like 4 months postpartum, and I got it almost immediately. Like, I just got off my period last week, and I think it might be because I started birth control on the 10th, and maybe that's like my body just adjusting to all that stuff. But I am taking a progesterone only birth control pill. I don't know what brand it is, I forgot, but so far I think I'm reacting well to it, besides the spotting and stuff that I'm having. But I did have my period for a full 7 days, and it was very heavy, and it was a mess. So my body is getting periods again. Hopefully I won't have any more periods once this birth control starts kicking in and doing all that stuff. But we'll see. As far as physically how I'm doing, I think my body is also pretty much back to normal. I still have that brown line, the linea negra, on my stomach. It's faded a little bit, but it's still not completely gone. So hopefully within the next month it'll disappear, or at least by summertime. As far as weight and how I look physically and if I'm back to normal, I was 125-ish before I got pregnant, and I haven't weighed myself, but at my 6-week checkup I was 135, I think. So I'm still 10 pounds away from being my like pre-birth weight, but I honestly don't want to go back to that number. I just feel like I was pretty thin, and I wasn't like underweight yet, but I was pretty close, and I don't really want to be 125. I feel like 135 looks good on me, and I prefer to be a little bit thicker. I'm gonna try going to the gym now that I've had my 6-week checkup and can work out and stuff. I want to try getting a little thick. So I do still have a little bit of a pouch in my stomach, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I think if I just go to the gym, it'll go away. I just have to actually go to the gym. I haven't experienced any postpartum hair loss at all, so I'm not sure if that's going to be coming. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it because my hair is very thick, as you guys can see. I could do without some strands here and there, so I don't mind that if that does happen. I am still taking prenatal pills just to, 1, finish up that container that I have, and 2, I just heard it's good to still be taking them, so I'm still taking those. I take the little gummy ones from Vitafusion. They taste good and they're pretty cheap, so I like those. My skin is breaking out. I'm sure it's just because of the drop of all the good pregnancy hormones I had. So my skin is being a little bitchy. My skin's not as pretty and glowy as it was when I was pregnant. I had super clear skin when I was, even before I was pregnant, when I was on that birth control, which was called low estrogen. It made my skin perfect. And then I got pregnant, and then my skin was still really nice. And now I'm breaking out like in between my eyebrows and like only on this cheek. This cheek has nothing, no scars, no blemishes, no anything. It's just on this cheek I have like scars and pimples, and then in between my forehead. I don't know what's going on. It might be my diet as well, but it needs to stop. But I think that is all that I need to update you guys on as of today. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys have any questions for me and Silas, then I'll be happy to answer them or answer them in my next video, if not in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out my Twitter, Instagram, if you guys want to see a little behind the scenes of what goes on in my day-to-day life. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.